that I love about Women's History Month is the ability to look backward, and to recognize that the innovations and ideas that came from women in our history. I think women today, although there is still much work to be done, we also have a tendency to forget that a lot of the opportunities that we do have today, the groundwork for that has been laid by these women that came up before us and worked really hard in even more difficult times to make that happen. And so, and the fact that their contributions were often overlooked or by history and not documented very well because it was such a male dominated narrative at the time that they were making those contributions. So people that my kids and I have been talking about are like Elizabeth Blackwell, who was the first female physician in the United States and sort of created a model for other women to come up and be doctors. And then there's Katherine Johnson, who now a lot of people know because of the movie Hidden Figures, but whose work at NASA, ostensibly put a man on the moon. So I just like, recognizing that work and also realizing that they accomplished all of this at a time when it was so hard for women to get a seat at the table. And that challenge did not prevent them from pursuing their passions and making these transformational changes in people's lives. I think it's just very inspiring.
For me, it's almost less about women's history and more about women's today in a lot of respects. Like, it's fantastic that all these women were trailblazers, but the fact is we still need trailblazing women. And it's sort of a reminder that like all these things happened. We have to call out women's history because it isn't taught as necessarily as part of like mainstream history. At least it hadn't been historically. And I think it's a good reminder of, there's still a big pay gap. There's still all these areas where women are not at the level that men are. And I think it not only shines a light on like the history of women, but also all the work that we're still doing and still continue to need to do.
Yeah.